everybody, this is Ron from RV Weekenders. We have a home project today that I started working on, and we decided, you know what, we know it's not in the RV realm, but we decided to share this with you anyway. As you all know, we're just weekend warriors when it comes to RVing, but we have a little problem. It's called, at our home, and it's called the drainage issue. We haven't started working on our backyard, but because of the way that our yard is sloped, there was the previous occupant put in somewhat of a drainage system, but he really didn't do what he should have done. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of show you a little bit about what we have to mess with here. So Stephanie's sneaking up behind me here. So as you can see in the dirt, you see these trails of where the water comes down from the roof drain, the gutter drains for the roof. So they did not put in a drain from here that would go out to the street. In our case, we have an alleyway that is behind the house, and you can see this open trench right here. These pipes, these drainage pipes, were in this open trench. And what happened here was the water would bring the dirt down and basically fill up these pipes. And instead of the water running into the pipes themselves, from a pipe that should have been buried in the ground all along down in this direction, and then flows into these pipes here, and then it runs all the way out there to the alley. Now I've already fixed the pipe out to the alley, so let's walk out there and let me show you what I did. So the pipe goes underneath the dirt along here and out to where you can see these rocks are, this gravel, and then to this kind of small concrete gutter pad that I poured myself. And then the pipe does come out this from here. You just kind of can't see it. It's right there. The reason for the rocks is to keep critters out, to keep mice and gophers and other things out of the pipe, so that we don't have, it doesn't fill up with a bunch of junk. So what I'm going to do today is finish clearing out the trench and take a look at the piping. I bought some fittings to help us, because we had a massive rain one day a few weeks ago, and it flooded the yard back here to the extent that it almost went into the garage. So when we realized that the pipe was probably full of dirt, and then you can see there's a trench over on the other side. This is mainly where the water filled up from, again, the roof drain, the gutter drains. And so what I need to do is finish clearing out the pipe, this one pipe right here that goes underneath our walkway. But what I need to do is clear a little bit more rocks out. You'll see how I did that. So I'm going to turn the camera over to Stephanie and grab my hoe. And there we go. All right, so the best way to get these rocks out of here is really with a good garden hoe. Trying to shovel them out doesn't work. So really, I cleared all this out in a couple of evenings. Got all these rocks out, and I'm going to pull some of these rocks out of the way so that I can get this drain out of here and finish clearing out this pipe. So
point, we're going to be doing more to the yard than just adding this drain. Or take one step at a time.
Yep. Now where Stephanie's standing, we're gonna put a pretty massive garden right here with some planter boxes and some larger dirt area for crops.
Yeah.
One thing we gotta keep an eye on though is ground squirrels and gophers,
Raccoons.
Yep. But where we live, there's some beautiful wildlife. All right.
We actually have to cage up everything. So there's owls and ravens and all kinds of stuff.
You can see our trash cans over there. We have a bungee cord wrapped around the top to keep the raccoons out. And sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't.
Well, I think it's worked pretty much since we've done it.
Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is we're going to clear out this pipe with some water. And I brought a nozzle, and we're going to be able to use the water that's coming in from the street at 125 psi with a good nozzle to get the rest of these pipes cleared out and wash everything off. So we'll see you guys in a little bit. Well, so we got the hose all rigged up. I got my nozzle on here.
I might stay back a little bit because where we live is really windy. We don't want to get the GoPro wet.
As I said, this is 125 psi. So we should be able to use this like a jetter. I'm going to go look at the other end of the pipe and
Sure.
see what's coming out.
What's coming out?
Water and dirt, hopefully.
Water and let's see what we got here. Yeah, some dirt's coming out. Yeah, you can see the dirt coming out more.
It's always a good idea to back the hose up a little bit and then do it again. It'll help to...
Yeah, I'm hearing it. Breaking us that the sound of breaking up dirt, huh?
breaking up the dirt.
Still coming out.
The dirt's coming out.
Yep. You can tell the dirt is darker than the water itself. It's new dirt coming out. Oh, cool! I can see it. It's real. I can see the stream. It's on the side. See the stream. See it out. Okay. You got me.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Got my shoes in the way. Look at that. See, you got me in my shoes. My Reeboks. I'll spin it again. Yep. Alrighty.
Now we're going to turn the water off. Go ahead.
Sure. You want to take the camera?
No, it's okay. Good turn. Well,
Okay,
let's
we'll pause it for a minute.
pause it for a minute. It won't come out this fast, but this will keep the critters out. You can see, that looks good.
Yeah.
All right.
Looks a lot better than the other side did.
Now we actually have one more section to clear out.
I turned the camera sideways there for a minute, so you might have to cut that part out. And I'm still recording saying that.
Yeah, you want to get out of the way, just going to spray.
That's smart, please. Well, he was not kidding, was he?
Well, that's about it for today. We have to let things dry out. Huh, Stephanie?
Yep.
Okay, so we gotta let things dry out a little bit before we can finish this up. And you're probably wondering, what are we gonna do to prevent all this from happening again so we don't have to dig this up again? Well, we have a plan, and we're gonna show you what we're gonna do. We're actually gonna use the water from the roof to keep things in this pipe cleared out. So I think you'll find this is pretty ingenious, but work really well. The biggest problem we have is that all this dirt was getting down from the pipe from the roof water as it was running across the dirt, which eventually we won't have the dirt. But to prevent this pipe from getting clogged up again, we definitely don't want to have to dig this out again, because it was quite a chore. It took me the better part of about 4 evenings after I get off work to dig all this out. So a good home project. When you see how we're going to do this, then you'll be like, oh yeah, that makes sense. So, all right. So we'll catch you on the flip side.
Hi, I'm Stephanie with RV Weekenders, and today, as you know, we're going to be continuing our project on fixing our drain. And since we're RV Weekenders, sometimes we can't be out in the RV, so we do home projects, reviews, and so forth. So we're going to go check on Ron and see what he's doing. He's rented a machine so he can not have so much problem on his physical body by creating this trench here. So
As you can see, he's wearing his ear protection. He asked me not to get too close because I'm not wearing any ear protection. Let's go see what he's doing.
got to make sure that I got it lined up.
Yep. Beautiful day, huh? Beautiful day. It's pretty early here still. It's probably around 9:30ish, maybe, something like that. Okay, welcome back.
So, trying to see about getting this pipe laid. We ran into a little snag here. The foundation is sticking out quite a ways. A lot farther than we had anticipated. So we're going to have to probably get a flexible downspout to be able to get into this. So if you don't know what a flexible downspout is, we will show you probably at the conclusion of the video. So meanwhile, we're going to move along. You can see we started laying the pipe in the trench. Get everything dry fitted before we glue anything in place. That way if we make a mistake, it's easy to fix.
So we're just moving right along with this drain. The winter coming upon us, we don't want to be flooded.
Alright. Sawzall.
Do you want some ear protection?
No, not for this.
Got your saw? Oh, there it is. On the tailgate.
So what we're going to do is take advantage of this trench. We always wanted to have a water line in the back of the garage. So that's not going to be finished today or anytime real soon, but what we're going to do is put in a 1/2-inch PVC pipe all the way back to the other side of the garage and all the way up to this point here. And then I'll have to trench it over and connect it up to that spigot over there. But for the right now, we're just going to get this pipe in the ground so that we can get the drain pipe done and get filling this trench up.
We need to cover up that dirt where that purple stuff spilled so no wildlife gets it.
The what now?
The cleaner. The purple cleaner should be covered up so that no wildlife comes and licks on it or anything.
No, it'll be okay. We gotta dig this out now.
Okay. All right, well, I'm gonna pause this then.
All right, so we finished the project. Unfortunately, we found out late Saturday that we had a major storm coming in, and so I had to have Stephanie put the camera down so that we could get the project finished. So I'm going to kind of walk you through the final stages of the project so that you can see exactly what we did. So let me turn the camera around and we'll talk about it a little bit. So you saw how we were running the pipe from the house. So let's walk over here so you can see how we did that. We didn't end up using a flexible downspout. What we did was we put in two 45s and a short piece to bring the pipe all the way over to the house and get it up next underneath the downspout. I'm here to tell you this made a tremendous change in how much erosion that we had. Before we had all of these rundowns that went down to the garage from the water as it ran down from the roof and into the French drain. We did not have that this time. We still have a little bit of erosion from the middle of the yard, and that'll be something we'll address next spring when we start to bring in dirt and we put up a fence. So what we did is, first of all, the pipe, I want to describe the pipe that we used as the French drain. It basically only has holes on one side, and they're actually split kind of at a 45 from the center of the pipe. And that's so that as the pipe sits in the trench, it actually weeps the water up into the pipe and it allows it to run. So making sure that it is at the right angle for flow is critical to make sure you have good angle. And you saw me out there with the level, and I constantly put that level on the pipe to make sure that it got good drainage. Now you can see how we put in a couple of drains, surface drains, so if the water gets immense like it did on the one major thunderstorm that we have, and you can see that we live in the mountains, so we get thunderstorms up on here from time to time that are major, and we found that we had a lot of water coming in, and it actually got all the way up to the weep holes of the garage. And so we don't want to have that happen again. So these drains right here will prevent that from happening, and they're right below the weep level, so if it gets up that high. But the way we put the French drain back in was, once we got the pipe leveled and we had it in place, you saw we were dry fitting everything. We pulled it back out, covered the pipe with a landscaping fabric, and then put the pipe back in. And what that does is it prevents debris from getting up into the pipe. Now sometimes, some of you might say that, well, why didn't you switch over to the black pipe? It's got the small slits in it. Well, unfortunately, I did not want to have to dig out the pipe from underneath the sidewalk. That would have been a major undertaking, and I just did not want to go down that road. So we decided to stay with the white pipe, the white French drain pipe, and I'm here to tell you, it did a tremendous job. Excuse me. We during the storm, we came out and took a look at how much water was coming out of the pipe, and it was a lot. So redoing this drain was a huge deal to stop the erosion. And you can see how now we've had a couple of different storms come through before I was able to finish the video. And you can see there's almost no erosion now, because the downspouts are going into the pipe. And as you can see, this pipe was pretty close, so we decided just to angle it over and get it underneath the pipe. Now again, none of this is glued. You don't really need to glue it. You can glue it if you want to. I chose not to, because if I ever want to take it back out, if there's something wrong, I can just pull it back out, redo it without having to cut it out. But it's really working really well. And I'll walk down here again. We put all of the gravel back in. We ran the water pipe down here. I want to show you a couple things here. One of the reasons why we love living here, and that is the wildlife. Now, I don't know if this is a really large bobcat or if this is a mountain lion. Chances are it's a mountain lion. The footprints are fairly large. I'm going to put my hand down here so you can kind of see how big that footprint is. It's a pretty large footprint. So we do have cougars up in the area, and we have a lot of deer. We've had quite a few fawns this year, and we know that they're probably going to lose a few of them, but they've been able to grow up. So this pipe actually came all the way down, and it originally came out right here, and it just dumped right onto this yard, right onto my neighbor's yard, and it was unfair to her. And so we took the pipe and we extended it all the way down, as I showed you before, out to right here, and you can see the runoff went beautifully out to the alleyway. Now, most of that dirt right there came from our yard, unfortunately, or it came from all of it running off of her yard. So we did a good job. Feel really excited about the fact that we've stopped all of the major erosion coming off the yard. We'll finish this up in the spring because right now it's about 40 degrees out, and working out here, the ground is soft, but it's definitely not worth coming out here to try to battle this. We did have threats of snow. Hopefully we'll get some snow this year. I'm not quite sure when. It's usually in January. So we're going to turn our attention now to things going on inside the house and our project to get the electrical upgraded in the fifth wheel and ready for the solar panels. Here you can see the deer tracks, and that's why we get the mountain lion. I had 4 of them in the yard the other day. I was homesick from work, and we had 4 of them in the yard the other day. My little Shih Tzu wanted to go out and play, but that wasn't possible. So, all right. Well, that's the end of this video, and we sure are grateful that we got this done when we did. It has done what it was supposed to do. So please don't forget to subscribe to our videos, to like and hit that bell, and share this video with friends and neighbors. I think we did a great job here, and hopefully you can learn a couple of things. Check with your local landscaping contractors. I'm sure that they'll help, because I did check with one of mine, and he was extremely helpful in getting this done. So if you do have some comments, don't hesitate to leave them below. We'd love to hear from you and hear what you have to think about how we got this done. So have a great day, and we'll see you on the road.